Mornings can be hectic in the Altman house, but one thing I can count on is looking out the window and seeing my grandpa's red pickup waiting patiently to bring us to school. My grandpa loves to do these little things for us. Let me tell you more about him. John and Tina Altman welcomed Dennis Jean Altman into the world on January 20, 1942. He was born in Sibley, Iowa. Denny was born with rich brown hair and blue eyes. He was welcomed by his older brother Jack. Denny and his family lived in a small, one-bedroom farmhouse near Ashton, Iowa. Denny had to do farm chores every morning and night. These included milking the cows, hay chores, and checking the hog barns. Denny loved being outside. He would either catch him fishing with his dad, playing cards, or just causing trouble. When Denny was 5 years old, he had started school. He attended Dale One Country School in Ashton. In 1954, his family moved to Rock Rapids, where he attended other country schools in Central Iowa. In the middle of his junior year, he moved back to Ashton. Denny graduated from Ashton Public High School in 1960. Denny's favorite school subject was math. His teacher was Mrs. Paul&Susan. When Denny was with his friends, they enjoyed going to ball games, movies, and swimming. Denny and his buddies were also known to do some drag racing with his '65 Dodge Corvette. Word on the street is that he also spent a night in the slammer for setting off fireworks. After graduation, Denny moved back to Rock Rapids and lived with his aunt and uncle. He did tenant installation at A&R Wood in Laverne. He also worked a little while at a bookstore in Sioux Falls as a delivery boy. In 1962, Denny got a job as a mechanic at Quality Motors in Rock Rapids. In 1964, Denny joined the National Guard. He left for basic training in February. He spent time in Missouri and Kansas training in radio mechanics. After basic training was done, he went back to work at Quality Motors. In 1966, Denny's friends set up a blind date for him. There, he met his future wife, Diane Krim. On April 6, 1967, they got married in Edgerton, Minnesota. Their wedding colors were peach and aqua. On November 8, 1967, their first child, Dorothy, was born. Denny got called up by the National Guard in 1968 because of the Vietnam War. He was initially stationed in Fort Karsyn, Colorado. Diane and Dory made the move with him to Colorado, though later moved back when he was sent overseas. He left for Vietnam in April 1969. He was stationed in Quang Tri with Group Company B-14th Engineer Battalion. While in Quang Tri, he worked on radio maintenance. Then he said he liked being in the military but did not enjoy his time in Vietnam. He grew up quickly while in the military and it taught him a lot of life lessons. After 7 months and 12 days, he was discharged from the National Guard. After Vietnam, Denny slid back to Rock Rapids where Diane and Dory were waiting for him. On April 17, 1971, David Jeans was born. For 14 years, Denny did trucking for Champlain. Then, in 1984, they decided to buy a sanitation company and name it Denny Sanitation. Denny loved being a father to Dory and David. He loved encouraging them and telling them what life was actually about. For fun, Denny enjoyed racing his race car number 33, hunting, fishing, and bowling. Later, Denny went into partnership with his son David in Denny Sanitation. They enjoyed many years working together until David bought the business in November 2015. Both of Denny's children grew up and had children of their own. Dory married Jeff, and their children are Derek and Haley. David married Dana, and their children are Karsyn, Cooper, and Connor. Denny loves to spend time with his grandchildren and wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. He always tries to make it to every one of his grandchildren's concerts, races, and ball games. He also enjoys spending time with his friends at coffee at the VFW. He also likes to help out with Denny Sanitation when he can. Denny and Diane also enjoy traveling. In recent years, going on trips to Hawaii, Arizona, Texas, and his favorite, Washington, D.C. John 3:16 was the verse that Denny always turned to throughout his life to give him strength. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, so that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. My grandpa Denny has taught me very important words in my life. Love, honesty, truth, and respect. Without these in your life, you have nothing. I am proud to call this loving, honest, truthful, and respectful man my grandpa.